Whitney, everybody ain't your daddy. What's good, everybody? Thank you all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. We are here today to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 12. And the name of the episode is called First Amendment Rights in Rome. Sorry I'm late.
I'm sorry.
I feel like after this weekend, I will be on track with everything. And so we'll be able to get the reviews in a timely fashion. But I mean, it's earlier. You got to give me some props. It is going to be earlier than what it was last week because I believe I did last week's review on Sunday. But we got Friday. Hopefully next week we'll try to do Thursday, Wednesday if I'm pushing it. Okay? But the episode started off with Bronwyn. Okay? Bronwyn is picking up Todd from the airport and she has on the costume. I'm tired of the costumes. Me personally, I am tired of the costumes. Maybe because she had on the costume when she threw the unicorn off the yacht.
Bitch.
So that's probably why. But Todd has a smile on his face for a change, okay? So she's picking up Todd from the airport, and on her way back, she shares with Todd that she got involved in the shit that he told her not to get involved with in the first place, okay? So he told her not to get into the fight that happened on the plane, and she says to celebrate her new citizenship, she wants to have a Boston Spill the Tea party in honor of her new citizenship and for a reset for the group to get all of the gossip out. And Bronwyn looks really, really good in her confessional with the long hair. She really looks good with long hair.
Yes, bitch.
Next, we got Whitney. Whitney is talking to Justin, and she said a big transfer just went out of their account. Now, this is reality TV. Now, if we're going to talk about it on TV, let's talk about it. How much went out of the account? And is Whitney upset having a drink outside because she didn't want to pay the people? That's what it seemed like to me. Whitney said that she's having regrets about a business decision that she made because she trusted Justin. And she said that she trusted him because it was the first time he seemed like he believed in Wild Rose beauty. And she thought that if he was working with her, then it couldn't fail. And now she resents him for it. And it's hard for her to separate the two. And it's affecting their marriage. Probably because Whitney didn't plan on paying them people. You know what I'm saying? It's probably because I feel like it's because it's one thing that we can't, and I'm just being real. It's one thing if we are in business together, but we're also married and Justin runs his business a certain type of way and he feels like things need to be done. Well, Whitney probably felt like, well, let me just keep the money. She don't feel like she got to pay the people. So we can't separate the two because now I'm in business with you and now you taking money out of the account because it don't seem like Whitney approved of it. It don't seem like that Whitney approved of it because it seemed like to me that she didn't want to pay the people. But I want to know how much money it was. Whitney says that Wild Rose Beauty was everything to her besides Justin and the kids, and now it's gone. Do y'all think that Justin tried to sabotage her business so she can be dependent on him? I don't know. Me personally, I think it's hard to mix business and relationships when a person didn't start the business with you. So I probably would never have let Justin lead me on anything that had something to do or with something that was solely mine or something that had to do with me.
Hell no.
Now, it's one thing to go into business with your partner together, but there's no way I could just give up. There's just no way that I could give up my shit to my partner or give up my business to my partner. Because if it's not his business and he didn't start the business and he don't love it like you do, you know what I'm saying? That's her baby, not his, right? And so it's almost like a kid. You know what I'm saying? In some ways, you'll never love my baby the way that I love it. So I don't think that I would have ever did that. Okay, but I do understand what Whitney is talking about. Next, we got Heather. Heather says she got two new things that's going on in her house. One, she says she bought an air fryer. I have an air fryer, but I never used it. And for me, it just seems too hard to use because it's almost like you gotta put, you know what I'm saying? You gotta know what temperature to put the air fryer on. I got a DoorDash the other day. And when I got it, it was cheat day, and so it was McDonald's, and my fries was actually cold when they bought it here. And I was telling my friend about it because I was pissed off. And my friend was like, "You should have just threw the fries in the air fryer." And I didn't even think of that. That never even crossed my mind because I never even used it. Now, the second thing that she got going on, her youngest child is getting ready to go to college, and she's ready for her to go. So Heather and Georgia are throwing Annabelle a bed party. I never heard of a bed party to this episode. Never heard of it. Now, Heather is happy because she feels like she raised these kids on her own for the last 20 years, and now she's done, and she's excited about not feeling responsible for them. And it seems to me that I don't know. Heather just sounds like she's about to throw these kids to the wolves, but I can tell that she's not that type of mother. And I also think that Heather is in for a rude awakening. I think that it actually gets worse when the kids get older because they need more money and the things that they require are bigger. And you're never done being a parent, right? Heather daughters will grow older. They will need help in college. They will one day become wives and mothers and business owners. You know what I'm saying? So they will expect and require help from Whitney. Heather. I know I said Whitney. Heather. I remember when Michael Jordan was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he thanked his mother, and he said that even in his 50s, his mother was still parenting him. So you're never going to be done parenting your children.
Message.
Next, we get Bronwyn. Bronwyn said that there was a law made in Utah where pride flags can't be flown on government buildings. So she wants to make sure that non-government buildings that want to fly pride flags have them to fly. She then has a talk with Muzzy, and she expressed to Muzzy that she worries about what she thinks of her. Muzzy says that she thinks that Bronwyn has been a great mother for Gwen and that she's proud of Bronwyn, but she never really said it to her because it's hard for her to say because her parents never did it for her. Or they never even threw out any compliment. Muzzy did say that she noticed a difference in the way that Bronwyn is bringing up Gwen because she sees Bronwyn throwing out compliments to Gwen. I think that was probably something that Bronwyn focused on doing to Gwen because it was something that she really wished she had. And I think that that's great that Bronwyn actually did that. Bronwyn is brought to tears. She's appreciative because she feels like she needed to hear that. And it kind of reminds me of Sutton and Reba. I had to get out of that. And I just recently, at 37 years old, had to stop worrying about what my mother thinks of me. And it's not that I'm always worried, it's that I'm always trying to please my mother. And I just realized that no matter what I do, if it's not exactly what my mother wants or how she thinks it should be, she's going to see it as nothing or it's not going to be enough. And I just have to accept that. I literally accepted that over the Thanksgiving break. That no matter what I do, if it's not what my mother thinks I should be doing, it's just never going to be enough. And so I recently had to learn that. Now we're at getting ready for Bronwyn Spill the Tea Party. Now on the way there, Brittany, Heather, and Whitney are all riding in one car, okay? Brittany shares that Meredith apologized for hurting her feelings, not for assaulting her.
What kind of bullshit is that?
Whitney says that she hopes that she apologizes to the group because she called them all light. So all of the women arrive, they meet at the dock, and then they go inside of a warehouse, and Bronwyn really had it decorated nicely. It looked nice. Initially, when I saw the clip in the scene earlier in the trailer, I thought that it was going to take place on the yacht. That's how nice it looked. For the theme, of course. I thought that they was really over some water. Everyone is dressed in theme except for Lisa, Meredith, and Brittany. And Lisa didn't seem like Brittany was dressed in theme. I don't know what she had on, but it didn't look like it was in theme. They had a quiz and a confessional. Nobody knew the Bill of Rights or how many U.S. senators it was, except for Bronwyn. But that's because she just studied for the test. I feel like Brittany. I knew all of that shit when I was growing up, and along the way, I forgot. I'm pretty sure if I had to take a test or something, I could remember it, but right off the cuff, I'm not really thinking about it like that. So then they have a game called Spill the Tea Game. Now, each person is going to have a box that represents a ceremonial tea, and you have to label the box with the name of someone in the group that you may have spilled some tea on and throw it out in the harbor. And I thought that this was the perfect game because I felt like since we're going to be moving forward, just get something out there that you probably said about a person. Don't really give them a chance to be mad at because we got to move on. But I don't think that the women took that opportunity. So first we got Angie, and she wrote Lisa's name down.
Of course.
So she said that Lisa made an announcement about a horse and said that she bought the horse. And Angie told some of the girls that she didn't buy the horse, that she rented the horse. I am tired of seeing Angie and Lisa go at it. And as of recently, it seems like a lot of Angie going after Lisa. We know you talk shit about Lisa before, girl. Do better. Go deeper. Go deeper. I'm sure that you said something about some other girls on the show too. But, you know, I think that the girls should take this time to talk about some girls that, you know, tell us some shit that you said about Mary behind her back. Because I know deep down inside, you know, you and Mary may be cool or whatever, but you done said some shit about Mary before. Then we get Brittany. Brittany says that she has no tea. She never spread a rumor.
Bitch, you're lying.
You are lying. It seemed like she learned her lesson from that beating that Meredith and Lisa gave her on that plane. Now, instead of Brittany spreading tea, she wants to know who spilled the tea about her flirting with Jael on below deck from the trip. Whitney admitted to it. I believe Jared told her that Justin told her, so we knew that it was Whitney's messy ass that went back and told Justin. I don't like no shit like that. I don't like no shit like that. You get what I'm saying? That ain't you broke girl code. You over here pillow talking, and now the nigga, you pillow talking, he looking out for his homeboy, and now the nigga coming back at me.
I don't like that.
I don't like no shit like that. Then we get Heather. Heather put Bronwyn's name on her ceremonial tee, and she said, she brought up Todd making out with someone in Farton. Now, I'm confused if she actually came up with the rumor and told it to Lisa, and that's why Lisa spreaded it, or if she was just bringing it up behind Bronwyn's back and talking about it. And I feel like it could be the latter, but the way that Bronwyn reacted had me thinking that she started it. Let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm confused. But the way that Bronwyn reacted, it seemed like the rumor came from Heather, and Bronwyn was upset about it, but she knew she couldn't get upset about it because they're throwing it in the harbor. Maybe I'm wrong. I know Heather messy ass could come up with something better than that. I know she said some shit behind somebody's back.
She's messy. I don't agree with that.
This is where production should get involved and roll that beautiful bean footage, because I'm not believing her and Angie. I'm just not believing it. Then we get Bronwyn. Bronwyn apologized to Whitney for spilling the tea about what she said about Meredith having a drinking problem. And she said that she was trying to be a good friend of Meredith and wanted to warn her about something that she felt went too far. And so Whitney is saying, if you felt it went too far, how come you didn't stop me instead of laughing? And Bronwyn said, I did stop you. And then Bravo showed us the receipt.
The truth is the numbers speak for themselves.
Now, Bronwyn did laugh, but did she stop her? No, I don't think she didn't stop her. She didn't stop her. She kind of warned her that Meredith would be upset and have some type of rage, or basically the seizure that Brittany said that Meredith be having. That's what she named it rage. It's a seizure. The bitch is having seizures. Whitney said that it was a private conversation.
You're gonna have to stop saying that, or I'm gonna, like, I need to move.
Baby, you said it to her in scene with 6 cameras watching. It was not a private conversation. It was not a private conversation. Nothing is private unless you told her something off camera and she brought it to the show. If you said it with the cameras watching, it was not private. Whitney said that Bronwyn made her look bad in front of Meredith, and Bronwyn told her, baby, if you're uncomfortable about her knowing about it, you shouldn't have said it, or you shouldn't have told me behind her back. and Bronwyn is right, okay? Whitney said, do you think I'm going to call a belligerent woman 2 days after we landed? Did you still think that she was high? Meredith said, if you want to go there, we can go. Everything I said was the truth. Whitney said that you didn't attack her for 6 hours? What crazy pill are y'all taking? And then Whitney also said, you just can't call me a liar this time because there are more witnesses.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Child, Meredith did it. She never going to admit to it. Bravo is protecting her. Let's move on. Brittany already accepted the apology. Let's move on. And see, that's the messy shit with Heather and Whitney. If Brittany and Meredith moved on and y'all still there, then they can't move on because you still, every time you're talking about it, you point at Brittany. So Brittany got to some way get involved in it. Luckily, she did. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like her keeping it up is just causing more confusion. Whitney ended up calling Meredith an alcoholic and a pill popper.
So she need to whoop her ass.
And then Meredith get up and she go and hands everyone a drug test. Now, I'm torn. On one hand, I feel like, bitch, if your daddy was on them drugs and you got triggered, take that up with your daddy and your therapist.
Like what?
That's the reason why.
Don't put the shit on me. But then on the other hand, Meredith asking the other girls to take a drug test is a flop to me because they wasn't the ones who attacked the castmate on the plane and forgot about it. I think that this would have better served Meredith if she had just taken the drug test and brought the results to the group. That would have gagged them. Well, it would have gagged Whitney because Whitney was the one who was saying that she felt like that she was, having a problem with drugs, that she was on that high shit. Meredith admits to drinking and doing an edible occasionally, but she said that's all she does. Whitney says that Meredith likes to handle stuff in the moment, and then she goes to sleep and she wakes up more angrier. And she says she recognized that behavior because it's a very sensitive subject in her house. Whitney is weaponizing her experience. And Whitney, baby, you can't do that.
You cannot do that.
You got to take that shit up with your daddy. Everybody ain't your daddy. Everybody ain't on that hot shit like your daddy. You are not a spokesperson for people doing drugs. Do I believe that Meredith was doing what she was doing? I do believe that she was doing what she was doing. But I believe she's not confessing to it because there was no cameras watching. And I believe that she's being protected. But I don't think that we should just say that she's on drugs, though. I don't think that we should just say that she's on drugs. Now, she on something because her mouth moves to the side when she talks. But I don't think that Whitney should be saying that without no whole... You saying that you saw her drinking is one thing, but to say that she was on drugs, I think that that's a bit far. Now we found out that Meredith also yelled at Whitney on the plane.
Bitch, what?
And Mary confirmed it. She actually said it last week after her Sunday service, but they never showed. Meredith also said to Heather that if she picks and chooses to support Brittany, then she's done with her. Lisa is denying it now, but she confirmed it last week. And plus, I believe that Meredith said that because she actually said that on the yacht as well.
You did.
Meredith is accusing Heather and Whitney of lying on her. But the thing, Meredith, is all of the women on the plane that day had the same story.
Yes, baby.
Lisa even had the same story. The only way that Lisa's story differs is that she said that she wasn't involved at all, that Meredith was talking directly to her, and Meredith never got physical. And I don't believe none of that. I don't believe none of that. Meredith said that Heather misunderstood what she said because that's not what she meant. Girl, but you still said what you said. So it sounds like you probably have misspoke. It feels like you're trying to say that you misspoke, but you still said what the fuck you said. You said what you said. Meredith refuses to admit that she did anything. So we can't move forward because Meredith is refusing to admit that she did anything.
You did this! You did this! God damn you! You did it! I know you did it! Speak! You did it! Yes, you did! Yes, you did! Yes, you did it!
Now, Bronwyn has a dress reveal. Bronwyn gives me this camp type of girl. Campy type of girl. You know what I'm saying? She loves to dress up and stuff like that. This was a nice dress that she had on. And she wanted to do wanted the women to come up with a friendship amendment that they can all agree on. And they named rules for their friendship. And, some of the rules were family is off limits, be a woman of your word, marriages, businesses, and children stuff is off limits. Listen, none of that is going to work. None of that is going to work. Because if that works, then they ain't going to have nothing to talk about. Then they're not going to be able to have nothing to talk about when they get into it. You get what I'm saying? I believe there's certain things should be off limits. But then again, I don't know. It just really depends on what you say to me and how mad I get.
I'm ready for the drag right now if you're interested.
Meredith says that the women need to stop the reactive abuse. In reactive abuse, it says, I had to look it up because I forgot what they said in the episode, but it says reactive abuse happens when a victim of abuse reacts to that abuse in a way which could include physical violence or shouting of their own. So she pretty much told on herself.
You's a stupid motherfucker.
But I don't think that Meredith was a victim of abuse. Was she a victim of abuse? Brittany is the victim of abuse.
Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that.
Meredith threw 3 drinks on her. Meredith took off her headband when an accent threw it on her. She threw her unicorn overboard. She was yelling at the bitch for 6 hours. She grabbed her hair, threw wine on her, kicked the seat, pulled the seat back. Girl, you doing too much. And I do think that Meredith, she probably was on some drugs, y'all.
Don't try me!
She probably was on some drugs, but we gotta have receipts. We gotta have some receipts. That is dangerous. And my thing is, me and Whitney would have went to a point of no return, baby, because I would have told her, baby, I'm not your daddy. Discuss that shit with is her daddy living? You have to go discuss that shit with your daddy. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That ain't got nothing to do with me. And that was pretty much the end of the episode. Now let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that Whitney is weaponizing what she's seen growing up with her daddy? And do you think the women should just leave it alone since Brittany has forgiven Meredith? I think the women should just leave it alone at this point. You know what I'm saying? Meredith is never going to admit to it. Y'all don't have it on camera. Okay, now I will be shocked to see if Andy, we haven't seen it in a couple of seasons before, but it'll be shocking to see if Bravo at the reunion, they said that the reunion was shot Thursday. Today is Friday that I'm doing this video. It would be shocking to see if Andy got some behind the scene footage from somebody on staff or somebody on the crew that was on the plane that seen Meredith over there acting a fool. But I believe that Bravo is protecting Meredith.
I don't give a fuck what y'all saying. I don't give a fuck what y'all saying at all.
But thank y'all so much for clicking on the video, y'all. I really appreciate the love and support, and I will see y'all later. Adios.